Major spoiler warning for Kanon, AIR, and CLANNAD here, just to let you guys know. I usually avoid big spoilers, but I can't really talk about this subject without them. The fall 2018 anime season marks 10 years since Kyoto Animation adapted CLANNAD. It and its second season, CLANNAD After Story, are well renowned for being touching romance VN adaptations that tell a magic realism story about family and make people cry a lot. Lesser known is the fact that CLANNAD is the final part of a trilogy, preceded by Kanon, known for being the source of the word ugu, and AIR, known for being that one show where the one girl died or something. All three were adapted both by Toei Animation first and later by KyoAni, who produced 4 TV seasons and 3 OVAs, all of which look beautiful, paying attention to little details, and what they do change they do to keep the emotional core of the story. But what really stands out with these, as far as VN adaptations go, is how they successfully show the romance arc. See, the problem with a lot of others is that they don't. Poor adaptations can move from arc to arc just discarding a love interest after their root is done or never giving real closure, and a lot never really show why these people are in love or why we should care. If a VN adaptation does handle it well, odds are the romance isn't the most important thing about the plot. KyoAni's key romance adaptations, however, set out to be more than just a self-insert harem fantasy, to the point that, despite the presence of multiple love interests for the protagonists, most viewers don't really consider them harem shows at all. First of all, in these, moving through the characters' story arcs doesn't come off like loving and leaving them. AIR, being the first and shortest of KyoAni's adaptations, makes the minor heroines' arcs overall more friend-like, and they're not really treated like love interests. You can still tell Kano wants to tap that, and Minagi still offers to run away with Yukito, but these are clearly for their own reasons and not because they actually want to be with him. The summer arc, which takes place 1,000 years prior, does show that both of Juya's traveling companions are in love with him, but Juya agreeing to hook up with Uraha isn't moving on from Kanna. It's done to save Kanna even if it means being with someone he doesn't love. Kanon and CLANNAD also have just friends and unrequited love takes, replacing the mutual love from the originals. This can often mean reframing a shot from the VN, such as Shiori's mutual kiss with Yuichi becoming one-sided on her part, or putting Nagisa into the night at the school with Fuko and having her kiss both of them, making her more like the glue that holds them together instead of a rival to keep them apart. It can also mean recontextualizing, such as how Makoto's arc still ends with the fake wedding, but Yuichi isn't doing it because he loves her, he's doing it to grant her dying wish. And the two roots in CLANNAD that wouldn't work without a romantic relationship had part of them worked into the main story, culminating with everyone involved being heartbroken when they realized Tomoya loves Nagisa instead, and the rest adapted into the Another World OVAs. Not to mention that, when a character's arc is done, she's still around, or if not, her presence is still felt in the world. It's not just one and done. But the main ships don't just work because the competition is properly and respectfully counted out. They work because KyoAni approaches Key's source material and, rather than just throw out half the plot like, say, Toei with its AIR movie, or the CLANNAD movie, which was even worse about this, keeps what it can and focuses on what's important. Their Kanon adaptation develops Yuichi and Ayu nearly every episode as he slowly starts to remember things and she's woven into the plots with the other girls, and while she did show up in other routes in the VN, it wasn't to the same extent, but here she really seems like a part of his life. AIR gets you to watch Yukito and Misuzu because you're discovering along with him that she's the girl he's looking for and invested in his internal debate over whether to leave her to save her or stay by her side. And while the story isn't actually about Yukito and Misuzu, that relationship still has to be important because it leads into Misuzu's yearning to connect with her distant mother, Haruko. But this especially works with CLANNAD, which gave us 39 episodes of Nagisa and Tomoya's slow burn and their investment in each other and their dreams. When she dies in episode 16 of After Story, and for the remainder of the show after that, we feel the loss along with Tomoya and see how much it's wrecked him. Because we've been so invested in their relationship, it's believable to see how far down he falls, how he builds himself back up keeping her memory, and his state of mind when he's able to finally go back and save her. And that leads into the next point. Writing a believable romance between your main characters means doing something that a lot of anime and VNs refuse to do. Make the lead an actual character. The source material already does this, giving Yuichi, Yukito, Ryuya, and especially Tomoya backstories and motivations for why they are the way they are, and the KyoAni adaptations push this further. The back and forth between Yuichi and Ayu when he calls out her childishness when he's just as immature as she is, The way Yukito's attitude towards Mitsuzu changes from annoyed to grateful to distant and finally desperate to save her, Ryuya's relationship with violence and duty evolving through his interactions with Kanna and Uraha, and especially Tomoya and Nagisa slowly bonding over what they have in common and making each other stronger and more open wouldn't work if the guys were either old-school failures or modern Gary Stews. So they have to feel as much like characters and like people as the girls around them do, and thankfully they succeed. For some time now, KyoAni has shifted away from adapting other properties in tandem with TBS, or Kadokawa for that matter, and towards adapting light novels and manga printed through their own publishing arm, vetted through their book awards, or both. So they haven't touched VNs in a while, and further key adaptations and original works have all been produced by other studios. While key fandom's reaction to this, whining about the supposed lesser quality of these shows, can be pretty unfair, it's still sad to hear because KyoAni's season trilogy adaptations are on a whole other level even 10 years after the last of them has aired. This is Secret Identity Studio, and every time you use ugu as an insult to Moa, a cute girl steals your food.